What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Welcome back to Riverbend Springs. And have you been missing me? I'm sorry, I couldn't keep from punning you. I couldn't keep from punning you because it was too punny. Anybody else feel punny tonight? No, not really. At any rate, just get on with the show, dude. So, what is going on tonight? I dropped a video all about the buildables. Pretty interesting stuff. Those farmhouses look pretty dang cool. The sheds, you can put a lot of stuff in them. I'm not too keen on the little sheds, though. They really don't have too much purpose, but there's one that's at least somewhat useful. That should help you decide, one, which farmhouse do you want to pick, and how much stuff do you need to bring, and quite frankly, is it even worth it when you factor in how much stuff you need to bring and how much production you either need to own or buy outright at the warehouse, which you get pretty dang expensive. Nuno, thank you, sir. Thank you for helping out. Hopefully you are a subscriber as well. As you may have seen, we reached our goal of 50,000. Well, we didn't reach our goal. We reached 50,000 subs. Our goal was to get to 50,000 before the release of FS25. And we fudged it by like a day and a half, I think. But in the grander scheme of things, no one's going to remember that later on. So thank you all for those that subbed up. We had quite a big intake of subscribers over the last week to really get us to that point where we pushed us over the edge. What's next? Well, 51. The road to 51 begins today. Little by little, bit by bit, we're going to chew through this. Maybe. No, I don't think so. Maybe. We can hope. We'll be at 75 this time next year. Oh my god, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Thank you very much. Burgess, speaking of Fog of War, I got a really cool spot I want to show you all on the map here in a little bit. I found it on my way over here, and I almost got like mesmerized and forgot what I was doing. Evening, Rick. Evening. We also today dropped an interesting video related to little small productions, and somewhat asking the question, are they worth it given their slow output and the fact that their cost values, well, they really don't cost a tenth of the larger productions. So to some degree, it's not necessarily worth it if you really are worried about that type of thing. Oh, well, I would say, David, that's exciting, but typically work laptops are boring, reliable machines that really don't have too many super cool features. Hopefully it's not a downgrade. Corporate tends to do things like that, you know? Upgrade you by downgrading you. It's newer, it's better, it's faster, it's not near as reliable. That's the trend with current and modern day technology. I haven't used all of the Oxbow harvesters, so therefore I cannot establish an opinion. I don't think I've used the P one yet. I think we did spinach over on Hutan Pantai. Oh, speaking of Hutan Pantai, I started work today on the temple video. Maybe that'll come out tomorrow. I don't know, because I don't know how long it's going to take to build that thing. I have a feeling it's going to take at least 5 years. I think at least 5 game years to build that temple. Crab walking? It's awesome. It's awesome. It's intended to distribute the way to the harvester over the field, so you don't rut it up too terrible much. Also aids with compaction. Those beans really were jammed in there. Yeah, there's lots of really cool animations on this thing. So, oh, we're going the wrong way, people. There we go. Okay. So there's some really cool animations on this thing. First off, there's this belt right on the header, and the belt is rolling toward the intake on the bottom to help feed the plant in. Kind of an interesting design. And we can see a roller there on the bottom. And basically the plant is then cut and brought up there in the middle. There is some sort of roller there. What the heck's going on? I don't know what's going on. There's some sort of roller there that takes the first stab at pulling foliage off, dumps it out here to the side, and then it continues to process it up into the machine, where then there are blowers. What in the... What are you doing? Let's somehow turn this off. At any rate, there are blowers that then try to separate the light leaves from the actual product that we want to keep. And it just keeps going through different stages of blowers and such, until at the very end comes up and is discharged here in the back. Really cool. Oh, well, David, you know, I like to do things manually myself, too. Corin, what's up? Well, I don't know if slurry tankers have crab walk. They typically, I don't think they would. We've seen crab walk on harvesters, like sugar beet harvesters in the past. All the oxbows have crab walk featured. Your telehandlers have crab walk for whatever reason. There, I mean, when you're driving, other than the fact your header is a little crooked, right, you really don't know that you're crab walking. I'll have to come back and fix this up. Yeah, Homer. Like I said, one of the sugar beet harvesters. Now, the AI helpers don't like crab walk. That seems to be a little too fancy for them. Alright, when we get at the end of the road, I'm going to hire a helper off. I want to go show you this really cool area before we lose too much daylight. Let's tile this over and go to work. Where are you going? I don't know where you're going, dude. I had a helper do this the other day. And he went AWOL because there was a little bit of unharvested crop somewhere. I think I even see it. He's coming over here to get that. I mean, dude, are you a perfectionist or something? It's not worth the time. Don't hit the pole. And now he's going to go actually start working the field. Assuming that's not the only part that's missing or something. Mod map scores are done. No more mod scores. People couldn't understand them. They got their butts hurt because the best map they felt in the world, I didn't give them a good score. So, nope, scores are done for. Done trying to explain how you can't have a scoring system and then make exception after exception after exception because of something. Well, this is a score, but if it's a map that's based on a real-life British area, then it really needs to get this other scoring system done to it. But if it's actually map that is intended to be completely fictional, then it should have this other scoring system tied to it. No, one system, that's it. So that's gone for. New and noteworthy? We'll see. We'll see. Mostly it comes down to time. And right at this moment, there isn't a lot of that. I think I need to go this way to get to what I want to show you all. So, I know we had a couple good mods drop today. The one that makes your bales rounder, that one looks super cool. There was one to help you, here it is. There's one to help you when you do your painting, your foliage painting, to make straight lines. Oh, look what I found. Let's go around. I'll show it to you from the other side. Oh, look, floaty tree. Ta-da! There we were over there. I mean, what would make this better if we, like, you know, we had like fish in there, and every so often we'd hear a splash and see a ripple as a frog jumped in. Wait, wait. Yeah, we were woodpecker. Here we go. Right, so I just took a stroll through the woods here. Then I came up here to this bridge. Right? Oh, we gotta log across the creek. Like I said, I just could get lost up in here. Alright, we got stuff to do. Let's head our way back. So where is that? That is down here by area 92, Meadow 92. Oh yeah, Farmer 80 is working on Hofbergman. Or will be working on Hofbergman once Giant Editor drops. Yeah, we had the more animal husbandries to get over that limit. We had the more, I gotta make sure that this is even where this goes. We hadn't had the more Productions, the companion to the More Animal Husbandries. No, this goes to the farmer's market. Way the frig over there. Well, all right, let's head back. I just wanted to show you all that. Yeah, most likely. Since they're all just Lua. They just need to conform to the naming scheme and things like that. Reese, no, I don't think it's a hindrance in any way. I'm not an expert in giant game engines, so I don't know if there is another game engine out there that is as flexible in the way that their homebrew engine is. I mean, what other games, any genre, allow you to completely and utterly change the map? City Skylines 1 and 2. What else? And I don't know if that's Minecraft runs on Java and everything's a little blocked. I mean, it farm sim Java, right? So I can plant crops in 7 days to die. I can cut down trees. The trees grow, grass grows, crops grow. I don't play these survival titles, so I don't know. But I think they've made their way pretty darn good using their own engine. Alright, I think we'll just park this down here at the bottom of the hill. How do you get rid of bushes? Right click when you're painting them, and it will remove. Or paint grass over them and then remove the grass. Yeah, I know that blue butterfly. I haven't put out my video yet on low-end hardware settings, but I've got it running pretty nice and pretty good looking on a mini computer that runs the same basic APU as the Steam Deck and other handhelds. Old Man Gaming, what is up? How's it going? I have no idea what the silage nerf is. Oh, I did it again. I never click OK. I always kind of forget to do that. So what? Silage doesn't make any money anymore? There's so many other ways of making money. It's not that really big of a deal. I mean, I think you forgot. I don't play the game in a how do I make the most money way, or what's the most profitable, or what's the cheapest way to do something. I play to just do it. That's why I've titled this the casual playthrough. We're just chilling out here at night, calming down, getting ready for bed, closing out the day. I need to try to figure out how to do this something the most optimal way. Living on sheep and silage bales? Well, you could. I mean, you need a lot of sheep to keep those fabric mills, the spinneries, and the tailors occupied. Unless, as you said, you supplement that with cotton. All right, Melvin, go get yourself some supper. I think compacting silage looks awesome. I don't know. I haven't been able to truly experience too much of the game, Renee. I've spent half a week just doing things and creating content around the build mode. So my chance to actually experience the game is when I stream with you guys. During the day, it's all about being in the game to make whatever the content I intend to make and get that made and move on to the next thing. Like, it took me 3 hours to do the video today on the buildable houses. And all that compresses down into like 45 minutes. Stuart, I like it. I like the new game. I think it is leagues ahead of FS22 from a standpoint of visual fidelity. People, it's like, it looks like FS22. They're talking with their eyes closed. Okay, there's no way it's FS22 with mods. No, it's not. You didn't have ground deformation mods. The digging mod doesn't count for that. Shadows are amazing. The lighting system is amazing. The fact that you can cast a shadow of anything, right? The other day I just took a flashlight and shone it at Walter, and his shadow was appearing on the back of the farmhouse, right? So the game was rendering the fact that his body was occluding the light rays, and therefore he had a shadow on the house. And if I stepped away from him, the shadow got bigger. As I stepped closer to him, the shadow got smaller. Right? The water effects are cool. I saw my first tornado today while I was doing the buildable video. So we took a couple minutes and followed that. Saw the tree destruction. I was hoping one of the sheds would get destroyed, but it didn't do any of that. The buildable farmhouses is awesome. I wanted buildable buildings for a long time. That was definitely a feature I had called out a lot, and we got it. The dynamic pastures is crazy to give you the flexibility to take an animal pen and make it your own, design it to the space for which you're putting it down. It's just there's not an endless list, but the list just goes on and on and on and on of changes. It's not, I would poorly optimized is throwing around way too much. I'm not saying it's not poorly optimized. I'm just saying that's a scapegoat for so many things. But we got a lot going on now. It's not ray tracing, but there's light rays being going on here. And to some degree, I saw today, they pulled out DX11 support, so it's 100% DX12. I know that there were some folks who were struggling with DX12 in 22 and forced the game to run in DX11 mode. Well, that's not available anymore. So DX12 all the way. What is your GPU? So I have run this game on this system, which is running a 4070 Ti. It could run it on Ultra, everything turned up, but I've got some things dialed back for streaming sake. Okay? I've run FarmSim on a 1070 Ti using a 7th gen 4-core i7 processor. Okay? 7-year-old processor running an equivalent, probably 7-year-old GPU. It runs on very high default 1080p 60 out of the box. Okay, I have this running on the equivalent of a handheld mini computer without a dedicated GPU, 1080p medium solid 60. I got a laptop. It's a 6000 series AMD GPU. It wants to run 1080 on Ultra, but I'm going to dial it back to probably very high. So a 3060. And are you trying to run at 1080p? Are you trying to run at 1440p? You should be able to do, in my opinion, very high 1080 without any issues whatsoever with a 3060. Yeah, 3080 Ti? No, I mean, that should do just fine. Well, Giants has never used 100% of the GPU. If you're using 100% of the GPU, then you're GPU bottleneck. The fact that you're not using 100% of the GPU means that you're CPU bottleneck. And Giants doesn't use a whole lot of cores, so it's pretty easy to get CPU bottleneck. I'm CPU bottlenecked. Okay? Why do I say I'm CPU bottlenecked? Because I have 12 cores and 24 threads. And I'm running at 25% CPU utilization. Giants is using maybe 4 cores. Maybe. It's not going to use 12 cores. It's not going to use 8 cores. Most games don't use anywhere near close to the number of cores and threads that the modern CPUs have. So when we come back here and look at my GPU, okay, I'm 50%, but I'm also encoding, right? I'm doing my streaming, right? So 39%'s there, right? All right, here's right. So I'm just under 60. Okay, it's still smooth as butter. It's just under 60. If I unlock the frame rates, it's just right at 60. But I'm not using 100% because I'm throttled somewhere else. Here. That's those cores, those threads, that's probably the game. Can't do anything about that other than get a processor with more gigahertz. That's why for the longest time Intel was supreme for gaming, because they were supreme for the gigahertz. They were better in single core, single thread. So what's your CPU, Jonathan? So 99% of what? The GPU or the CPU? All right, so yeah, so at that point, I mean, you're not getting any more performance because you're maxing out your GPU at that point. So in that point, yeah, you are GPU bound there. But it just takes a little bit of time to figure out the balancing act. I mean, the secret sauce for me getting the little mini PC to run good was turning on FSR 3. Once I did that, because it wanted to default me to 720p low, and it looked like absolute trash. So I turned it up to 1080, and the frames are horrible. I thought, well, let's just turn FSR 3 on and see what happens. And things look fine. Yeah, there's some games where I use the CPU to do the stream encoding, just so I get more use out of the GPU for playing. But the other thing, Jonathan V is, or no, Jonathan S, is when you're only using 50% of your GPU, do you have your frames locked at 60, or did you choose to raise the frame rate to 90 or 120? Because if you have your frames locked at 60, right, then it's not gonna work harder than it needs to just to keep giving you 60. And if you really want to push the GPU, then you could disable the frame limit. What's up, Will? How you doing down there? I was glad to see that hurricane didn't do too much of anything, just kind of meandered around. So far, I'd watch it though, right? Yeah, set it to 90, see what it does. Well, really, if you have dev mode, F2 will bring up your frame rate. F3 will unlock it. F3 again will lock it back down. So you can do that. You know, if you have the dev console enabled, then F2 will bring the frame rate up. F3 will unlock or lock your frame rate. Or you can just do it from the menu. You can set it to 90 or just unlock it totally. Schultz, I don't know if you saw my post. My new Frankenstein system, it lives. I got a lot of work to do on it to get it up to shape, to move my GPU over to it, and retire this. Because I had to hire helper, and hired helper doesn't like crab walk, so I turned it off. And then I started driving, cutting through the field. So I turned it off. Matthew, passenger mode is 100% confirmed. 100% base game feature in Farm Sim 25. So, no future DLC required. If you're in multiplayer and the vehicle you're in supports it, then yeah, you can ride with your buddies. We had 4 people in the Skoda during the launch party. Of course, the Kubota side-by-sides, we had 4 folks in those. The trucks, you know, typically are gonna run 2 pastures probably. So Schultz, I call it my Frankenstein because it's an ancient Chinese motherboard where the monks have taken a 14900H X H something and extracted it from a laptop and deposited it into a socket on the motherboard and call it a mini ATX system. I think it's got something crazy like 24 cores and 32 threads between all the performance and efficiency cores. And since it's technically a laptop part, it runs like cold. So keeping it cool is not a problem. So I'll be interested to see how things work out with it. I gotta install a bunch of software on it. I gotta export a whole bunch of Adobe plugins and assets. I've gotta move all my scenes and everything over from OBS. This system's got a lot of baggage. Oh, those new GPUs get big. That Tower 300 is a really nice case to work in. Ton of room. Ton of room to work in there. All the sides just fall off. They're all held on magnets, our little pogo pins. I looked at the tower 600, but that thing is huge. And I didn't need ATX support. $300 is MATX, right? And this thing's got plenty of room for cooling. Cable management's super simple. Now, it's an inverted case, and all your cable connectors come in from the back top. So if you're somebody that has to get to the back of your connectors a lot, you might not like it so much. But if you don't need to worry about that, if your rear connectors are more set it and forget it, because you got to pop the top off, you got to lift up a pair of 140 millimeter fans, and then you can get into the top where all your connections are. Adam, that is an issue that many people are struggling with at the moment. You'll see my videos periodically. I'll have flickering going on. I don't have any flickering going on tonight. Oddly, I don't seem to flicker much when I'm streaming as much as when I'm recording. And I don't know what's up with that. But for some folks, either they're far more sensitive to the flickering or it's a lot more frequent than I've seen it. For me, it's a minor annoyance, but for others, it's bordering on unplayable, they say. Giants is aware of it. I don't know. I don't think anyone's really pinned down an exact fix, but there are several things to try. Some of those things include deleting your shader cache, letting the game rebuild it, see if that helps. Some things include lowering your settings slightly. Some have said if you enable DLSS as your temporal anti-aliasing option, that can help. Turning off foliage shadows has been mentioned as something that has helped. I would definitely update your graphics drivers if you have not done so. NVIDIA dropped a new one on launch day. It wasn't flagged as day one support for FarmSim 25, but some folks have reported both positive and negative experiences with that driver, so maybe that'll work. Corin, I don't know about GPortal optimization support. I disabled that a long time ago because one day GeForce totally screwed up my settings because it thought it was optimizing them for me. And I basically told it what it could do and that if it didn't comply, I was going to do something very bad to it, and informed it that it was never to ever touch another game of mine in its life. And it's complied to that command, and to this day it never touches any of my settings again. So that was my experience. So I don't keep up with the NVIDIA's supposed optimal settings. But on that front. NVIDIA is replacing their GeForce Experience app with an NVIDIA app, just called NVIDIA app, that's going to combine GeForce Experience and their control panel into one. If you update to the latest driver, part of that update will uninstall GeForce Experience and install the NVIDIA app. The big deal with the NVIDIA app is you don't have to log in. For some folks, logging in to the NVIDIA app was a big deal. They basically didn't want to give NVIDIA all that information. So NVIDIA is still getting information about you. It's just pseudo randomized now, right? Have you all taken a walk down the roads and looked at all the mailboxes? There's lots of really cool custom mailboxes all over the place. In fact, there's a farm right across the street here. It's one of the possible player farms. Its mailbox is a milk jug. What's the matrix system? The Y70 is sweet, but it was expensive. Little deer, you need to get out of the way. That's right, run away. I mean, I typically wait at least a month to upgrade drivers, but last month there was a notice about a vulnerability in the NVIDIA driver, so I upgraded pretty quick to that one. And then when I heard about this update and the NVIDIA app, I wanted to try that out, so I did the update. I hope you can figure it out, get it figured out. There's an update coming at some point. We don't know when that update's coming. Giants hasn't told us. I suspect. Sorry. I expect that update will probably be a week or two out, because I feel they're going to want to try to bundle as many updates and fixes as possible, because it's going to be a big update. Because there's some things related to the map or maps that are going to need to be fixed, and that's going to really inflate the size of the update. So some of these things we're just going to have to live with for a little bit of time. I have not tried the Agrifact Beet Harvester. Alright, catch you later, Nuno. Glad you could come by and hang out with us for a little bit. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get a video or two published related to multiplayer server. And I'm going to be working on, and I have been working on, a video related to the temple mission on Hutan Pantai. Right now I'm fast forwarding through who knows how many years to see how long it's going to take to build that thing out. I have a list of bill of materials, and I also need to fast forward through to make sure that list of materials is fairly complete. There's 54 or 50 some construction phases in that build. I think the pirate ship had 30 some. So I'm thinking the system, I think it's going to take like 5 years to build that temple. That is going to be a massive undertaking. Alright, our last pass to get this one. Then we'll hire a helper out on the last one, as we take our time driving all the way across the map. Checking out the, I want to see if when we dump a contract in the farmer's market, if we don't get green beans showing up inside. That's what I want to see. Caleb, you finally got your poplar planted. Plant once, harvest forever. You're done that job. I hope all this fits in here. That'll really put a bummer in my plans. Oh no. Well, my plans have been bummered. All right, let's tag the farmer's market. So we'll have our little dot. Let's head off. Oh, hello, mailman. Why don't you go ahead and go? Why don't you just go already? Jeez. Indecisiveness really gets annoying. Tornadoes show up in the farmer's market when sold to... What's sold to... I don't know what that means. Sold to idle. What? Let's make our way over here to the bridge. Oh boy. Oh, we're bogging down. There's creepy Noah. Yeah, who the fuck green beans would have been so heavy? I have no idea. It's a mission vehicle. It's the X8. It's good to see our axles are tethered to the frame. There we go. Does not have to do with the train. What do y'all think about the fences and how they are addressed? All right, we're going to hang a left here. Then take a right. What's up, Avery? How's it going? I want to know what's going on with that potential fish hatchery. Could we get some sort of fish aquaculture? Fish farming, if you will. Wouldn't that be something? That is correct. There's no built-in cement factory. And 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, look at that. Well, I mean, you'll have to, right. You'll have to build a concrete factory and something to dig up all those stones. You stop it. So yeah, this is the farm with the milk jug mailbox. It doesn't take that much concrete. Oh, that's still turned on? Hold on. There we go. It doesn't take that much concrete. 54,000 liters. There's your milk jug. Now, I say that's not a lot because of what else it takes. Like nearly 500,000 liters of wood beams. Are you kidding me? Are you got a death sentence? You don't do that on a hill. Oh my God. You need to go back to driver's ed. Alright, get to work. I don't know where you're going, but just get to work. So you need nearly 500,000 liters of wooden beams, over 400,000 liters of planks, 96,000 liters of roof plates, 54,000 liters of cement, and a mere 12,000, I don't know how that number exists, 12,000 boards. Now, I gotta confirm all those numbers. Hopefully I can finish that tonight after the stream. And then I gotta record that video tomorrow. I think it's gonna take 5 years to build the temple. So that means it's going to take about 6 hours to record that video. Do we have mud on our tires? Yeah, a little mud on our tires. Now that'll fly off if we drive down the road a little bit. Look, we got less. And we barely went anywhere. Sorry about that. Well, once you get it started, then it's just keeping it fed. But yeah, it's assuming that there's no breaks in it making things or building things. Just like it took 3.5 years to build the pirate ship. That's assuming that you keep it fed with product. If for any reason you're slow with keeping it fed, then it's going to take longer. Thank you, Mike. Well, I mean, we kind of figured it would have to be something massive to build out the whole temple complex. Andrew, we're in constant contact with giants. They will most likely at some point reach out, yes, but we're in pretty constant contact with them on a near daily basis, with providing our own feedback and information we're getting from others. On Riverbend Springs, you renovate the Grain Museum. You restore it to its past glory. There are 25 collectibles on the map that you can collect that are basically historically significant to the Grain Museum. And when you build them out, they will be taken and put into the Grain Museum after you do that build. You also build out a pirate ship over at the playground guy. So the guy that makes the little wooden tractor playground equipment, he's got a giant pirate ship playground over there also. And you build that out over the course of 3.5 years, I think, is what it took me. Ravenhawk, there's not been a game update, so no, you cannot. And that won't change until there's an update. So, Lone Panther, go to feedback.giants-software.com. That is a website. Create an account and log in, and then provide your feedback by submitting a support ticket. That would be feedback.giants-software.com. I hope you can actually go inside the Grain Museum after launch or after the next update, because when I built it out in early access, I couldn't go in it. I couldn't figure out how to get inside it. It's a little bit of a bummer. Collecting those collectibles and having them go into the building, but then not be able to like go through the building and see them on exhibit. There's a farm down here with chickens. right across the street from Field 87. There are chickens right, I think right here. I think that's the only farm that has chickens on this map. Well, I could have just turned on the no collisions and done it, but what's fun in that? And if you don't collect them until after you build the museum, you can't exactly go through it beforehand. I'm trying to think if I know what the collectibles are on Hutan Pantai or not. There's also glowing orbs of grain to collect. A hot tip on that is to hunt for those at night, so you can have a better eye of seeing the glowing orb. I don't know what the glowing orbs get you. So that's to be figured out. Now we're doing the rolling. We get 2.5% bonus with rolling, according to the Giants Academy blog post. That doesn't appear to have changed between FS22 and 25. So there isn't a way to turn off the fog, but there is a console command that supposedly lets you affect the fog. I didn't include it in my command video because I didn't really have a full grasp as to how it worked. So I thought, what good use is giving you a command and saying, I really don't know how this works, but here it is. Figure it out. I could sometimes make the fog go away. Other times it would make the fog less dense or denser. And there were times where it seemed to have no effect at all. So but fog is not a turn-offable setting. Like, we can turn off damage from disasters. Like, we can turn off damage from hurricane storms and the tornado. We can make it so that they don't appear at all. Or we can make it so that the damage is just visual and doesn't actually affect yield. But there isn't an actual toggle to turn fog on and off. Maybe if you understood how to do this one command, you would have mastery of fog, but it escaped me. So, Jonathan, are you running on 1080p or 1440? Okay. So you could take, I bet you if you did this, do you have an NVIDIA card or a AMD card? You have a 3050, right? So you have an NVIDIA card. Turn on DLSS quality and see what that does. See what that does. Keep it on very high auto and turn on DLSS quality. Right, so let's do this. So right here, right now, solid 60. We can untoggle it. We're in the upper 70s, right? We're playing 1440. Your shader cache is going to be under Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator 2025, and then a folder called Shader Cache. Just either rename the folder or move it to your desktop with the game closed, and then relaunch the game and it'll rebuild it. So advanced, go to advanced. Come down here, DLSS, and say, yeah, I want quality. Okay. And apply. Then escape, launch the game. Do it now. You mean to say FS22 launch? John, thank you for the sub, bud. You're in chat, say hey. We'd love to say hey back to you. So what that will do is it's going to run the game at a lower resolution and upscale it to the resolution you're playing at. So for you, it's probably going to run it at 720p, render it at 720p, and then through the magic of science, upscale it to 1080p. So it'll be as if your game is playing at let's get back to where we were. FPSs, a solid 60, right? And we're still in the upper 80s, right? Good. Does it look any different? Right, looks the same to me. If we go up here to the very top, it should confirm what we did. Oh, this game loads a lot. Oh, here we are. We're getting to the top. So here's all our settings. I would think if it needed to restart, it would have forced it, but anyway, I don't see it. Anyway, I would try that. Turn on DLSS quality. Let's see how it works for you. Maybe once you make that change, close the game out, relaunch it. If you don't like it, then just turn it off. You can then try other upscaling technologies like FSR 3. And let's see how that works. Okay, we are officially done with our planting. All our fields are in wheat. All our fields have been fertilized. Nope, not yet. We need to fertilize them. All our fields have been planted. They've all been mulched, other than one. They've all been limed, and they've all been rolled. So if we get out, we can see we're at 55% on this field. Oh man. Seriously. What's up, Farmer G? No Wreckfest for me tomorrow, but I will be American Truck Stimulating on Sunday, I promise you. Let's put our roller in here. Oh, did you all know that you could do this? Oh, that's not where I wanted it, but yeah, we all knew we could do this, right? Oh, look at those nice wet tires. Get rid of this mud. Shiny. Shiny, happy paint. Oh, what'd I do? Right, alright, that's good. That's good. That's good. She's ready to go to town now. See all the ladies, look at her. Oh, did you know about this? I mean, I look awkward as all get out, but okay. Let's put this thing away. What do you mean it won't work when you go to use it? You just walk up here and you hit R, and then you squirt things down, right? Left click. Do you not get the R when you walk up next to it to take it? Then R to put it away? Oh, maybe. Does it have the clean? Does it still clean? Maybe that's a setting, Rick. It doesn't clean. I don't know. Does it give you the engine sound like it's running? So there we are. We gotta fertilize them all. You know, have you seen the helper do this weird stuff where they round out all these corners? It's like they spend more time just dicking around with the corners than anything else. So you asked about the chickens here. Let's jump over the fence. Yeet. There we are. Here's your chickens. If you own this, there's chickens. And this is one of those barns that gets taken down if the twister comes through. Old guy gaming, are you not up to speed with what things are? I made a video. He talked all about all these farms. There's a farm right down here. Just Soph of 87. Right? You got a nice little entrance here. Woo! You have a perfectly fine farmhouse if you buy it. Then you have a sleep trigger, a wardrobe trigger. You got cluckety chickens. You got a water trigger here. You got some deco buildings that you can delete and get rid of. Or if you own the place, you can actually go in them and use them to some degree. I feel that there might even be a collectible in here somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, there is. There is, children. It's this thing. There's your free collectible for the night. If you want to know where, stop it. There you go. This is that farm up here on the hillside by the water tower. This map has 5 farms on it. If y'all don't know, me and Old Guy Gaming go back a long way. A long way, like Farm Sim 17. With seasons. Yeah, you can't seem to turn off headlands. I think it's because of the way they turn in the field. Xbox One is not compatible with Farm Sim 25. Xbox X and Xbox Series S. Only current gen Xbox. Same with PlayStation, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 5 Pro only. So, I mean, I don't know, Rick. You go to feedback.giants-software.com and provide a bug report that for some reason your pressure washer doesn't wash. Like key bindings say left click to activate and all that. So if you didn't know, Old Guy Gaming, there's a farm. Obviously, your start farm's here. We talked about the farm that's down here. There is a pseudo farm that is right here at 80. There is a farm over here, over yonder, right here. There is technically you can buy the farmhouse that's here at the farmers market area and the maze. That's technically a farm. And then there's a farm up here. So there's several usable farms. Most of the buildings on those areas can be removed. So you could delete them out. Pretty much every building in those areas can be used too. So it's not like FS22 where those playable farms you had static buildings you couldn't get rid of. Alright, there we go. I don't know how this thing seemed to skip a row. But obviously I borrowed one contract's piece of machinery, and I'm using it on multiple contracts. A little cheeky, but it works, right? I started with a lot of money so I could show people stuff. Right, most of the stuff we have on the farm is because I wanted to either show it off, or I wanted to try to do all the farming steps to mesh out what our bonuses are. But I do really like the start mode. I mean, obviously I made a video on it. I thought it was that impressive. To where you can pick, do I want to start a new farmer? And how much money do I want? How much of a starting loan do I want? What do I want my economic values to be? Right? Do I want to own the farm or not? So all of the things that used to define I want to play in this mode because I want these things to happen now can be in any mode. Right? You can do new farmer on hard economy and not own the farm. It almost just eliminates the whole need for those settings, other than the fact that they're just, you know, defaults. So you could do a new farmer, start from zero money with a $500,000 loan. You own the farm at the start because, you know, you're just struggling and everything, and do a true grind up, right? Or you could just not own the farm at the start, give yourself $100,000 and go have to buy some other farm somewhere and play it that way. So I'm really interested to see how that fleshes itself out with other maps, and if other maps really take that on, and if it's even possible to customize it. What if it's customizable somehow by the map, and you could say, oh, I want to start on the dairy farm, or I want to start on the sheep farm, right? Maybe it's static, maybe it's hard-coded in the game, or maybe it's somehow defined in a map. So the possibilities are there for a lot of things. And we have contract expiration now. So be cautious of when you take out contracts, what time of day it is, how long it's going to take to complete a particular contract. Because we found out in a live stream that if we don't get a contract done on time, it's finished. It goes away. It kicks you out. You could be 1% from being done, and the time expire and you get nothing for your work. So pay attention to that too. You know what? I think I forgot to do the entire stream. This video is brought to you by Chris Miller and Alfredo. Thank you for being farm barons. Now, if I already did it, then they get 2 shoutouts, I guess. But I don't think I did it. So we got that covered. If anyone wants to know how to join the channel, well, there's a join button down below the video. We have different levels of membership from a mere 99 cents a month on up. And depending on your level of membership is depending on your level of perks. Due to recent time limitations, I don't have a whole lot of early access videos out there available to push because I'm completely caught up. Like other than 2 more NPC videos that are going to drop at midnight tonight and tomorrow night, I don't have anything uploaded that's not ready for release. Well, it should last multiple days a month. So it doesn't change. Yeah. Next month it would change. But the contract should be good for 48 hours then, as opposed to 24. And not all contracts are only a day long. Right? Like your deadwood contracts are longer than that. Your... Sorry, I did not catch that one on time. Your rock removal, your busting up rock contracts, your wood transport contracts, those are all going to be longer typically than a month. But we got a tedding grass contract. Come out here and ted my grass. I'm going to pay a whole $750 to $40. If you don't have the machinery, you're going to earn $100. So it seems like literally every possible step in the farming process could be a contract. You missed. All we did, Raz, is we talked about tedding grass contracts. Walter wants us to go ted some grass, and he's barely going to pay us anything if we borrow his stuff. I think some kids used this stuff one time, and I think they messed it up. So now he charges anyone a fortune to use his stuff. He's like those meddling kids. I told him about this guy who made a video about collectibles. And I showed him a free collectible. You know, it's that drug dealer thing. You give them a little hit, and then they come back for more. It's always okay. It's always okay to link to my stuff. Right? Please share, and share a lot. You haven't seen a rolling contract? I feel like I've seen lime contracts. No, I probably did fertilizing contracts. We took a stroll down a creek. The sun was coming through the trees. We had the creek coming through. We had woodpeckers. We had frog sounds. We found a pond. Oh, it was good times were had. I thought we were about ready to do ups and downs. Now, the fact that the collectibles are different from each other really does make it a little bit harder to find, because you don't know what you're looking for in that big pile of stuff stashed away in some old barn somewhere. Now, did you also do the glowing orbs? Oh yes, I remember now. The XML called them balls, but I never found one, I don't think. What's the deal with the soccer ball in the tree at the farm? I tried to get it the other day, and I think I touched it, and then it vanished. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. And I really thought the paper hats were collectibles, because they were scattered around in some images. It's really hard to pick stuff up in not first person mode. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with these. No, I wasn't able to. I didn't really think about using the console command to clip through collisions. I could have just walked through walls if I did that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's stuff coming. When we asked about, the apparent chicken coop at the starting farm and the lack of triggers, we were basically told that it's something that's coming in an update. I don't know if we were to read into that it's being fixed in an update, or if that isn't a chicken coop and whatever it is coming in an update. Like, maybe there were some things that they were really ambitious on that didn't quite make release day. And as a result, are coming in a content update at a later date. Tarticus, welcome. Glad you could catch the stream. 3 a.m. Or do you work early? Are you just not able to sleep? What's got you up at 3 a.m. other than boring old me? I will admit, I was just about ready to wrap up. We try to stream for about 2 hours. Any more than that, and it gets really tiring. Animal pasture showing no pasture. I don't understand that question. So if you could clarify that question a little bit. I mean, I'd be a little worried, David, if I were you. I mean, she'd rather listen to me than you. I'm smooth operator. You know? What can I say? What can I say? I don't know, Nathan. I've sold stuff at the store, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so how many animals do you have in that pasture? It's quite possibly they've already eaten all the grass, and the grass can't grow because they eat it quicker than it grows. Are you feeding them anything other than the meadow grass? They gotta fix their light switch again. Biggie Farming says, tear it down and put it back again. When you put it there, you were prompted, do you want to plant meadow grass? And you said yes. Well, basically, Raz. The medium greenhouse produces twice as fast as the small, and the large produces twice as fast as the medium. Therefore, the large produces 4 times as much as the small when set to a single production. Enabling more than one at a time will cut your output by that corresponding factor. So if you enable 2 things, then you're going to get half of the output of either that you would have got if you only had it enabled singularly. If you're crazy and you enable all of them, well, I believe there's 6 things in these darn greenhouses now. 7 things. So you get 1/7 the output. So I use chilies in my example. I got 1 pallet of chilies for a small greenhouse. I got 2 pallets of chilies for a medium greenhouse, and I got 4 pallets of chilies for a large greenhouse. The only difference between the 2 types of greenhouses is visual and to some degree size. I think the glass ones are technically a little smaller than the tarp ones, but the glass ones cost more. Or you could just grow shrooms. So if you do destroy it and put it down again, use easy dev money and add your money back so you're not, out a whole bunch of cash. They do what I call serial production, which means they take turns, right? I produce a chili, then I produce a garlic, then I produce a chili, then I produce a garlic. Versus parallel production, which means I got chili and garlic both running at the same time. There's no slowdown. Well, my console command video should help bridge that gap. Obviously, it's no substitute for easy dev because there's so many other great features in that mod. Alright folks, I think we're gonna call it a night. I was up super late last night and I need to get up tomorrow and get to work on that temple video because I have a feeling it's going to take all day to get that pulled together. I thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. We're going to be doing this until Saturday night, so two more live streams this week for Farming Simulator. We have a second channel, FK's Funhouse, where we play other stuff. Typically on Fridays we wreck with Wreckfest. We'll be starting that next Friday, not tomorrow. On Saturday I'll be doing Manor Lords live streaming starting next week, not tomorrow, over on that secondary channel. And starting this Sunday, I'm going to be back over there doing Sunday Night Convoy Night in American Truck Simulator with the Mayhem crew. So if you like just complete craziness, then go check out the FK's Funhouse. It's where we go and chill out over the weekend and just kind of blow off steam and do other things other than farming sim. So explanation FK Funhouse should give you a link to that channel. And until next time, happy farming.